Welcome to another edition.
Shine through.
Can you hear me, see me? Can you hear me? How to restart my computer. You want to load the slides while well, shit, I don't even know. Let me see. When I started, all the slides was there. I am live. We're still live. We are live. Wow. All right. I apologize, everybody. I'm having technical difficulties, obviously, being on the road, trying to do my thing here in Newark, New Jersey. Obviously, Wi-Fi does not like Newark whatsoever. Do apologize. I thought I ended it. Try to restart it. Back on the road. Um, I'm on the road for many reasons, obviously personal reasons, but try to do what I gotta do. Yes, it is Hotel Poppy, as they say. I do apologize again. This is another, I did say a special edition, right? Special edition of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. I didn't know how much you guys saw or didn't see. Maybe I cursed. I didn't curse. I'm not going to apologize. We're just going to try to do this show as best we can. We had an interesting week of baseball as we go down to the pennant chase, as they say, these last 2 days, last 2 weeks, sorry. Pretty much all the playoff spots have been taken up. So we had a couple series are still coming down to the wire, but I will get to that here in a second. I want to discuss what we all already know. And no, I'm not going to start with Aaron Judge tying the record. I will start with Albert Pujols being or joining the 700 club. Okay. I am no Red Sox hater. Wait, what are we talking about? Stop distracting me there, David. I do apologize again for the distraction. I guess my Wi-Fi here in New Jersey does not like being messed with. But we had a milestone. Albert Pujols hit his 700th home run, 2 home runs last Friday night in LA. That's kind of an irony since he did play last season for the Dodgers. He finished out the series, huge series, earning a Player of the Week award. Excuse me if I'm trying to get my bearing here. Trying to make sure we're good live. Trying to make sure everybody's good. If my producer can go ahead and tag everybody as we go, that'll be great. I think it's just at everyone. I think that's what Flex says. You know, I'm even though I've been on social media forever, I'm still new to the little trinkets, as they say, of social media. But Albert Pujols, a 13th round draft pick. So, look, 32 times 12, y'all do the math. Teams passed up on him, to include the Cardinals, obviously. So, a 13th round draft choice, not a pick, a choice. In 1999, he was drafted to play third base. So imagine that. Imagine all the teams that decided this kid was just not good enough to play baseball. He was told countless times, this may not be for you. So yeah, he actually got drafted and held out. You know, he bet on himself. He said, I'm not playing baseball unless I get a bonus. For those of you that didn't know the little story about Albert Pujols, I'm pretty sure Netflix might release a movie here in the future. If they don't, talk to me, people. I'll write one for you. But yes, drafted 13th round, played third base, and all he's done is had a career batting average of 296, 3,378 hits. That's an astronomical number. 700 home runs and 2,208 RBIs, 2,208 career RBIs. So second to none. You know, what this guy has not only these incredible feats, I'm going to throw out there 11-time All-Star, 3-time National League MVP, also National League Rookie of the Year, and a 2-time Gold Glove winner. So just imagine that. So I'm trying to make sure we get everybody. I don't want to miss any, as they say, any comments. Please jump on the show. Again, I do apologize for the awkward beginning to this show. I am on the road. Little note, I will be at the Yankees game tomorrow night, hopefully to watch History in the Making myself. I'm hoping to go live as well. So we'll see how that goes. So the 700 Club, only 4 players in the history of baseball have reached the 700 Club, 700 home runs. So those guys, Barry Bonds, obviously, you know, cream of the crop, sitting at 762, followed by hammering Hank Aaron. You can see the little video I just posted up there. Babe Ruth sits in third at 714, and welcome Albert Pujols at an even 700. So again, a exclusive club. Only 4 players in the history of baseball have hit over 700 home runs. Speaking of exclusive, only 2 players in the history of baseball has 700 home runs and 3,000 hits. Obviously, I already mentioned it earlier. Albert Pujols became the second player. The first one, pause for dramatic effect, hammering Hank Aaron. So 2 players. That's it. 2 players in the history of the thousands and tens of thousands of baseball players to come across our eyes and on the ball field, on the diamond, as they say. 4 players in history. 700 home runs, 2 players, 700 home runs, 3,000 hits. Obviously, we'll see him in Cooperstown, which is the Hall of Fame, in 4 years. Amazing feat. It's just incredible what we are seeing last week, this weekend. Hopefully, we will see this man break the American League record in home runs. Aaron Judge tied last night. For those of you who ain't following the news or watch baseball, obviously it's everywhere. Even those that don't watch baseball, this is on the regular news. CNN, CNBC, Fox, all them shows it. Aaron Judge just hit his 61st home run to tie the American League record of Roger Maris. One more to break the record. One more to tell Roger Maris Jr. he can go home and stop following Aaron Judge around the park these last 7 days, because I know he wants to honor his father, but it's awkward when he just sits there and falls asleep and watch Aaron Judge either walk around the bases like every at bat, because nobody wants to pitch to him. So let's just get it over with. Let's get it over tomorrow. Come on, Aaron, you can do it. I'm gonna be there. Hopefully you can knock it out the park tomorrow. I can save my ticket. I can show everybody I was there for Aaron Judge's 62nd home run. If we get more than one, that'll be great. But I'm going to ask for one. I want to ask for one. Some irony for you. Aaron Judge hits his 61st home run this year. 61 years, almost to the day when Roger Maris hits his 61st home run to break the previous record held by Babe Ruth, who had 60. So just imagine that, right? That's crazy to me. Roger Maris broke the record September 26th, which was 2 days prior to the 28th, which was yesterday. 1961, he hit his 61st home run to break, which was the Major League Baseball record. For those of you that didn't know, obviously the Major League Baseball record is held by Barry Bonds with 73. So I don't see Aaron Judge breaking that record. I honestly don't see anybody breaking 73 home runs. That's just crazy to me. Steroids or not. And I'm not here to cause any controversy. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. But the record is 73, whether you like it or not. There's no asterisk by it. I will tell you to get over it. That's all pretty much I will tell you to do. Aaron Judge. On top of the home run record, let's keep in mind he is also competing for the Triple Crown. So what's the Triple Crown, you ask? It's most home runs, the highest batting average, and the most RBIs in one season. Last time that was done was in 2012. Miguel Cabrera. Prior to that, it was Carl Yastrzemski, 1967. Just want to throw out some facts for you. I guess that's the only way I can make up my show is to throw out some facts after my technical difficulties. Again, I apologize. We got some late start. Let's one less thing. One more thing I got to worry about being on the road, obviously, is Wi-Fi and service. Just bear with me as I go through my notes here to make sure we get to where we have to go. But Aaron Judge, let's do this tomorrow. I will be there. I will be there. I will be square. I will be doing all of that. And I think before I get to the power rankings, I want to acknowledge a franchise record. And this is from my producer here. We got the Los Angeles Dodgers of Hollywood. I don't know what y'all want to. And my it's freezing one more time. This is kind of irking me here. But that's what happens when we get on the road, and my producer can jump on and kind of help me out here. But 107 wins. If y'all can see it, if you can help me out, please. 107 wins for the LA Dodgers. I don't know. I think I shake your head if you can hear me, if you can see me.
Yeah, I can still hear you and see you.
All right, and you can see me. Can
Yep.
you hear me? Previous to that was 106 victories for the LA Dodgers. So it's huge. The Dodgers have accomplished so much with this franchise, and I'm gonna say that I guess I'm impressed too as a baseball fan. Okay, I am impressed too. the Dodgers, first team in history to have 106 victories or more in 3 straight consecutive seasons. For those of you that didn't know that, obviously we're not counting the COVID shortened season, where it was only 60 games played that season, and they actually won the World Series that year. But 3 consecutive full seasons, they have achieved more than 106 victories or more, and that is the major league record. 3 consecutive seasons. So 107 victories for the Dodgers, and they broke their record of 20 in 2016. They had 106 victories. So I wanted to jump to this before we jump to the power rankings. I think my producer got me behind the scenes. I don't know how I look or what I'm doing, but I am blind, but I'm still going. Can we? I think I'm. Oh wait, right. My computer just woke up. It froze. We're awake. We're awake. We might be awake. Who knows? Let's get to the power rankings. I think I can do that myself here. I think my producer got my back. Everybody, welcome Jimmy Bilbo to the show. My producer, the Shine Through Productions.
We in here.
He is the backbone of the Pride and Passion Baseball Talk and the All Sports Matters podcast. So, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I am running my show or our show out of, and I was going to say undisclosed location, but it's obvious I'm in a hotel room. And for those of you that follow me on Facebook, know I'm in Newark, New Jersey. Family emergency, but guess what? Baseball is still my life, as they say. And we're going to continue to talk. We already discussed it. Number 1 seed was the Dodgers. We discussed that. We got that out the way. They're still 1 game away from clinching the top spot, though. It's a big deal from the Major League Baseball. They got number 1 seed in the National League. That's hands down. They're way above everybody else. But they need 1 more victory or a Houston Astros loss to clinch the number 1 overall seed to host the World Series. That is a big deal. Obviously, you want to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So that's a big deal. Sitting at number 2, like I just said, is the Houston Astros. They clinched number 1 in the American League. Okay, that's a given. Right now, all they can do is play spoilers to other teams, and I'll get to that here in a second on how they can play a spoiler, and they can, and I think they will. Okay. 102 wins, 54 losses for the Houston Astros. When you got a 1-2 punch of Verlander, Framber Valdez, who I mentioned last week has 25 consecutive quality starts, which that is a major league record. You quite possibly got the top 2 pitchers going into the playoffs, especially the way the playoffs are designed. I'm going to get to that here in a second. You probably only need 2 starting pitchers to pretty much secure a series win. So I want to spend more time here in 3 and 4. I'm hoping you guys are watching out there. If Fleck is caught in traffic, but this next segment is a perfect leadway for him and the Atlanta Braves nation, as well as the New York Mets, because I want to make sure I jumble 3 and 4 together. Okay. Reason being, they're about to start a 3-game series this weekend. Hurricane Ian, right? Hurricane Ian is not supposed to be affecting this series, which it was at first. The hurricane is moving out east. For those East Coasters, please be mindful of that. That's me, by the way. I just put myself in that category. But their series will not be affected by the hurricane. I want to get that out the way. What will be affected is if the Mets win. I'm going to throw one more thing out there. If the Mets win, 1 game out of the 3-game series, all right? We're talking about just Mets and Braves right now, okay? Braves win 2 out of 3. They end up the weekend tied for first. Got that. The Mets just win 1 game. They will also earn the tiebreaker over the Braves. I need y'all to hear me on that, okay? What does that mean? That means they win a division and the Braves win the wild card. I need y'all to understand that there is no tiebreaker game this season and quite possibly moving forward. It is head to head at this point. So if the Mets win one game this series, just one, they will win the tiebreaker over the Braves. That's important leading into next week. All right. So 7 games left. Some teams have 6. I think the series, these two teams only have 6 games left. So that is important for Braves fans to understand. Their best bet, obviously, I know I'm Captain Obvious, for the Braves to sweep out. They win the division. They move on. I am reiterating this because the wild card winner quite possibly will play the Dodgers in the second round. I can't emphasize this enough. And that'll be quite possibly the best series in the playoffs. I just want to throw that out there. Okay, at that point. So, because I'm pretty sure the Mets and Braves will both give the Dodgers fits. But I wouldn't want to test that theory. That's just me being the Captain Obvious. This weekend, let's see what I got. Jacob deGrom versus Max Fried. Game 1, right off the rip, Friday night, under the lights of Atlanta. Jacob deGrom versus Max Fried. Ace versus Ace. I'm pretty sure there's a song there by a company, but I'm not going to say it. Ace versus Ace. Because Ace is the place. See what happens? I'm not going to go there. Game 2. It's like Ace A and Ace B for the Mets versus Ace A and Ace B for the Braves, because in Game 2, you got Max Scherzer going up against Cal Wright. Cal Wright is the Major League Baseball's only 20-game winner, and nobody is giving him props. So, Ace A, deGrom, and Ace B, Scherzer, is going to the first 2 games for the Mets. Ace A, Max Fried, and Ace B, Cal Wright, is going for Game 2. Yes, Ace is the place for all your hard work or something like that. Whatever. We got Chris Bassett and Charlie Morton going to Game 3. So it's not so dramatic as far as the pitching matchup, but the game is huge. Okay, the game is huge. This is the playoffs. If you ask me, this is a playoff series. Nobody wants to come in second. Yes, pocket aces is the way to go. Even though they scare me in a big tournament. Trust me, they do. I will fold pocket aces on a big raise. A lot of times I would. That's my professional poker player talk. I apologize. That was a free lesson, by the way. I usually charge for those. I'm telling you, this series here, if you don't watch baseball any other time, this series is the one time you warm up to the playoffs. This series here will warm you up for the playoffs. I guarantee you that. And that's 3 and 4 in the power rankings. That coming in number 5 is the New York Yankees, who secured the American League East this past week, and the number 2 seed. That's important for them, for players like DJ LeMahieu, Luis Severino, who needs to pitch in some rest. We don't know if Frankie Montas is going to come back. The bullpen has gotten beat up a little bit. So these next few games, it's not going to mean much or anything, honestly, other than just getting in a rhythm for the playoffs for the Yankees. But it is all about Aaron Judge. Like I mentioned before, he is 1 away from breaking the American League record. And it's crazy because all the reports I read, I do read, barely, because it's sports and news. Still reading though, right? I guess. I'm not reading the science fictions or the romance novels like everybody else. Not that I'm knocking it, but I read. That's my reading. Okay. And a lot of these news writers, these baseball writers, are saying this is the Major League record. Like, they refuse to acknowledge Barry Bonds. It's insane to me. I saw Barry Bonds break the record. Like I saw it. He exists. He's there. He's real. He's alive. These games mattered, so that's crazy. I know how to read this status, or this comment, David. Thank you. Yes, I know how to read. So at number 6, the St. Louis Cardinals, they just clinched the National League Central, which is huge for them. They will have the 3 seed, and they will play whoever is the 6 seed. And I will get to that because that is going to be intriguing as well. We don't know who the 6 seed is going to be in the National League. And that is the other playoff race still happening. Everything else has pretty much been locked in place and secured. It's all about seeding. But 6 seed is a battle. I'm going to get to that here in a second after the power rankings. At number 7, a team that clinched the wild card today. And I'm glad you're watching, David, because they clinched the wild card because the Red Sox finally did something. Okay? And they beat the Orioles, which made the Toronto Blue Jays clinch their wild card today. I'm going to get to the playoff slide, the playoff picture right when I'm done with the power rankings. Wink, wink to my producer. The Blue Jays at 7. The Guardians closed out the Central at 8. They will have the number 3 seed. Okay, I feel like this is like March Madness. You know how they got the little props come out, that number 3 seed, and they'll throw up a random team. Well, the Guardians is that random team because everybody wrote them off, prior to the season. The Chicago White Sox were the favorite coming in. Everybody thought the Minnesota Twins was going to do something with the trades that they made and a big signing of Carlos Correa. And for those of you that don't know or haven't followed me, or follow baseball as much, or the Minnesota Twins, expect Carlos Correa to opt out of his $35 million a year contract. You hear it here first. All right? Carlos Correa will opt out of his contract. Yeah, I got that right? And number 9, it's the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a little bit intriguing. I'm going to put 9 and 10 together. Usually I put the Blue Jays and Rays together. But I'm going to switch it up because I'm going to put 9 and 10 together for this reason. The Rays, 85 and 70. Mariners, 84 and 70. What does that mean? The 5th and 6th seeds of the playoffs is only a half game between them. And to me, that's huge. Okay? That's huge. Because the Mariners, they play Texas tonight, should be a victory. They got the Oakland A's, and they have the Detroit Tigers next week. The Mariners can possibly win out and take the 5th seed, where the Rays are dropping, and they're dropping fast. I don't see them dropping out the playoffs because the Orioles still having a very, very minute chance of making the playoffs. I don't see it happening. But the Tampa Bay Rays have the Guardians tonight, the Houston Astros 3-game series next week. And that's why I mentioned the Astros will still play spoiler because they can hurt the Tampa Bay Rays, and then they finish out with a 3-game series against the Red Sox. So Rays got a little tough stretch there to finish out the season. They did get Tyler Glasnow back, so that's huge for them. He still needs to work up his way into a full game, but having that ace on the mound is a big deal. There's that word ace again. Ace is the place, and the Rays need that ace in his place. So that is your power rankings. Let's move on to, if the playoffs was to end today, this is your postseason picture, okay? The Mets are 1 game ahead, and here's where I want to throw a little wrench in this scenario. The Phillies lost today. So the Milwaukee Brewers have now tied the Phillies for that 6th seed in the National League, okay? The reason you still see the Philadelphia Phillies there because the Phillies own the tiebreaker, all right? Now, you tell me who makes it as a 6th seed, and I will tell you you're absolutely correct. The Brewers have 4 games left against the Marlins, 3 against Arizona. They play the bottom tier of baseball. They can easily win out. As the Phillies play 4 against the Nationals, should be easy series. And they finish the season with 3 against the Astros. Hey, I didn't make the schedule. Matter of fact, you can blame that on the players themselves or the owners as they got locked out because they were supposed to start the season playing against the Phillies and Astros. And these games got put to the back end of the schedule due to the lockout. So because of the lockout, the Phillies might be unlucky lockout. Sorry, not sorry. Phillies might be the odd team out here. So that's going to be intriguing. Then right now, as you see, the 4 and 5 seed in the American League, that can change. I foresee the Tampa Bay Rays dropping to 6, the Mariners coming back up at 5. And so for those of you, again, I will tell you how the playoffs is going to work. For a few of you that's watching, a few of you, hopefully, that will watch it later when I share it. The top 2 teams obviously have a bye. They'll take off like 5 days. They have 5 days off, which is great for them, for the top 2 teams of each league. The top seeds of the wild card round, the 3rd and 4th seeds, will host a 3-game series. That means all 3 games will be played at the highest seed. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend. All the games we played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's no mixing and matching. So wild card weekend, next week, I will break down the playoffs for you guys on the show next Thursday. It'll be a special playoff edition of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. Playoff, Pride and Passion. Pride and Passion Playoff Talk? We'll figure it out. I'll get a name together. There's a lot of P's, right? So, right now, the Guardians will host a 3-game series, quite possibly in my prediction. Playoff prediction and playoff. See, I can't even say it. I was going to go run through it. Pride and Passion playoff prediction. Here we go. I can do that. This I can do. I got the Mariners as the 5th seed, and I'll have the Tampa Bay Rays as 6th seed. The divisional playoffs, the ALDS, will be a 5-game series. It'll be 2 and 1. In other words, 2 at home, 2 away, 1 at home for the higher seed. And it's just a 5-game series, no longer a 7-game series. So that's important as well because it's a short series. And in a short series, like I said, the Dodgers got to play against DeGrom and Scherzer in a short series. They might be in trouble. Might not be fair, might be fair. Who knows? Okay. That's why it's important. The wild card team and the division winners. There will no longer be reseeding. In other words, this is the bracket. When you see the bracket, this is what you get. There's no moving up to play the higher seed. The higher seed don't play the lower seed. Major League Baseball came up with this, so the higher seed will not play a division winner until the championship series. In theory, it makes sense, but I still believe they should have reseeded, honestly. But hey, everybody agreed to this, so this is where we at with the playoff postseason picture. That's a lot of P's. The Pride and Passion playoff postseason picture. I can do this all day, people. I can just keep adding P's and let's go to the players of the week. Let's just throw this in here. That's more P's, right? Playoffs, the players of the week for Pride and Passion. Honorary, not necessarily honorary, because Albert Pujols actually had a great week last week. Okay. Don't usually see co-players of the week, but Albert Pujols was batting. San Diego Padres, these P's, man. The Padres had him no hit, and then Pujols came along and got a base hit. Jeez, you're gonna see playoffs, predictor, Pujols, playoffs. It's gonna be a lot of P's. I gotta stretch my mouth next week and work on my enunciation, as they say, so I'm not flipping all over the place. Want to make sure I don't miss anything. But Pujols last week batted .368. And of course, obviously, we already talked about it, hit his 700 career home run. He shared the honors with Pete Alonso, who batted .333, had 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. A quick note is Pete Alonso was the first Met to ever hit multiple 40 home run seasons. And that's insane to me Yeah, I got to pause. I'm definitely going to pause talking about the playoffs and giving my predictions and pride and passion. That's jeez. I'm glad we ain't talking about pickleball. This is rough. It's a thing, people. Pickleball is a thing. LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Kevin Love bought a franchise. I get it. All sports matters. Wrong show. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. But, hey, that's a thing. Pickleball. Jeez. It's a thing. Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians won the American League Player of the Week, batted .438. He hit 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. He had an amazing start to the season, slowed down a little bit, picked it up towards the end. He quite possibly could be the American League Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Julio Rodriguez and his incredible year in the Seattle Mariners. We're hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping the Mariners get Julio Rodriguez back for the playoffs. So that is my prediction for the playoffs here at Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. I'm practicing, people. See, practicing. I got to pause. I'm going to get it. We're going to get it together. We're going to figure it out together. I believe that is all that I have for you guys today. Again, I apologize for the delay and the awkwardness. I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave any notes behind. I apologize. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that the legacy of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk moves forward. I'm going to say moves on, moves forward. Next week, we have the playoff edition of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. See, I'm already stumbling. I got to practice. It's going to be a rough week next week. All week, I'm going to be like, and it's a thing. All right? It's a thing. I got to stutter, and I don't. But hey, I'm going to get there. We're going to get there. Tune in next week to the playoff edition of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. Thank you today. Thank you for your patience. Another P word. That's a big P word right there. For your patience in my technical difficulties. Tomorrow I will be in studio, as they say. I will not be the broadcast manager, so tomorrow's delay should be minimal. We should get all the notes out for you. All Sports Matters podcast tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Please join us. Join the Shine Down Productions team. Join us. Thank you. Take us out, Mr. Producer. Another P word. Look at that. Producer. Peace.